Hey guys, welcome back. It is still July 20th, 2018, 9:26 p.m. Alright, so I just posted a video on the U.S. weather that we are currently experiencing and going to expect in the Northeast, and actually my girlfriend pointed out something pretty interesting that I can't believe I missed, but it's clear as day what could be going on right now. Now, I had you on this chart here, the COD.edu chart, and I just want to do one more time. I want to take us back to the beginning where the frames start, which would be July 19th at 22:52 UTC time. So if you guys want to figure out what time that is, just Google it and you'll know exactly what time it is. Alright, so I want to focus on two things here. There's a low pressure system coming down from Canada, and we got a low pressure system currently, or actually just exiting Florida now, being that this was yesterday. Now I want you to pay attention real quick. I have a few other charts to show you. As we move forward, we begin to see these two lows separate. This one is in a clear counterclockwise spin. You can see this part coming down and spinning this way, and then same thing with this deal. You start seeing a counterclockwise spin. Now, some of you may already know what I'm trying to get to here, but we're gonna get to the meat of this in a second. We could be looking at the possibility of a July nor'easter. Yes, and this is after a winter of, how many did we have? 4 or 5 in 1 month's time. So it was like a nor'easter winter. So usually when you say the term nor'easter, people assume snow, heavy winds, and shoveling for hours. But believe it or not, you can have nor'easters in summer months. They are rare. They're very rare. But as I say that, I found some articles. I did a little bit of research. And apparently, almost a year ago, 8 days from now, it'll be 1 year to the day that forecasts say Christmas in July, a summer nor'easter is headed our way. And they have the weather charts at that time. It's Christmas in July as a nor'easter threatens to develop today and potentially bring high winds and copious amounts of precipitation to the area tonight and tomorrow. Before that happens, we'll have a partly sunny and muggy afternoon with high in the lower 80s, okay? So this was 1 year ago that we had a nor'easter within the same week that we are expecting one now. So today's July 20th. By the 22nd, this thing could be in full bloom. Here's another article from that same exact week. Here's the 28th of July, 2017, same day. Freak summer nor'easter headed for mid-Atlantic. And they show the Chesapeake Bay here, which is clearly up the East Coast, and then a following article explaining why this is happening, how it's happening, and how it's gale warnings in July are rare along the mid-Atlantic coast. But if a tropical cyclone is nearby, then they do happen. But those are rare, and a gale warning for a nor'easter in late July, that does not happen. No way. It does happen, and I'm going to show you why right now. So now we're going to go to Tropical Tidbits. Once again, I have you on the GFS setup, and then I also have the Canadian model set up for you. So we're going to look at two here. Now I have you set for July 20th, which is today. We have our clear low pressure system right now just under the Great Lakes by Illinois, Indiana, just passing over the southwest corner of Wisconsin. So this is what I want you to watch. I want you to watch the system that's just exiting Florida and now wreaking havoc on the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. And then I want you to watch this low here. And we're going to look for our signature 9 symbol. This is what my girlfriend pointed out to me. That 9 symbol we talked about all winter that described our nor'easters. Check this out. As we move into Saturday, which is right now, this low continues to move under the Great Lakes. You start to see this low develop here. The rings get tighter and tighter. As we move forward into Sunday, I actually skipped part, there we go. Look how quickly this thing blows up. This was the term we were using called bombogenesis, when these storms explode into very high wind, high rain rates. In the winter it was high snowfall, but we're in summer months, so this will not include snow. This will be wind and rain with another low pressure system to help fuel it. Now what you're going to see are these two systems begin to spin around each other, just like that term called the Fujiwara effect when it comes to hurricanes. Alright, so we're on Saturday the 21st. Now we move forward. Here is the beginning hours of Sunday. You could see we are at 1,000 millibars in pressure. That is near hurricane millibar pressure. So when we're dealing with hurricanes, we're in the 900s, rarely touch the 800s when we get into those category 5s, but you can start to see how this thing tightens up like it's a hurricane. Almost looks like a hurricane right there. And then we have this low pressure system coming down from Canada, and then they begin to swing around each other, and it almost swings this low pressure right here into the states, right into New Jersey, Long Island, northeast Pennsylvania, and then straight up through New York. So let me back that up for you, for those of you that didn't really catch it. Watch this, a low pressure system here, and this is the beginning of the second low pressure system. This is going to happen all through the weekend. Look at that, how they wrap around each other. One goes up, one goes down. That is your classic nor'easter situation. There's our 9 symbol right there. It pulls moisture up from the Bahamas and the Caribbean, uses it as fuel, spins counterclockwise. Heavy winds because of these rings. I really wish I could zoom in. Excuse me. I really wish I could zoom in here, because the closer these rings are, the faster the winds we're going to be dealing with. So there's already wind warnings out there along the coasts of a lot of these states. I'm sure there could even be state of emergency that is posted at some point, but I just really wanted to point this out to you guys, that we could be dealing with literally a nor'easter in the middle of July for the second year in a row on the same week. The 28th last year we had a nor'easter, and we are about to have another one. And the pressure drops to 1,000. At one point it said 999, which is crazy. So basically what I'm saying here is, by the time we are in Saturday, July 21st, Chesapeake Bay, Delaware, South New Jersey, and South Pennsylvania, be ready for some crazy weather, because this thing's going to be windy, it's going to dump a lot of rain, and it's going to be pretty chaotic. So according to these charts at least. Now again, this is weather. Things can change. Just to give you a little verification, here's the Canadian model, a little less detail. This is more of a moisture map, so we can watch the same thing happen though. We got this low pressure coming down from Canada, and then you're going to see the low pressure come up from Florida, ride the coast, and then just like a nor'easter, it's going to blow up right here. Bombogenesis, bomb cyclone, whatever term you want to use, it's all the same thing. So as I move forward, you can see there's the low pressure, 1002, just as it passes South Carolina next to Virginia into the Chesapeake Bay. And there you have it. Right there is going to be the peak of it Sunday, towards the end of Sunday, going into Monday. Expect some very severe weather. And that's going to include tornadoes right in this area right here too, guys. So just so you know, if you live in these states here, do not be surprised if you are getting tornado warnings. This is a pretty rare setup here with these two lows mixing with each other. And that's what's causing the tornadoes. It's these two, it's a low pressure and a low pressure. Moving forward, you get a bunch of different winds spinning in different directions. Simply makes tornadoes a very high possibility in this area. They're already up to 45% chance, which means basically a coin toss of whether or not there's going to be touchdown tornadoes in states that don't usually get them. We usually get it more down in this area, Kansas, stuff like that. But these may head a little bit north. We may see tornadoes in Pennsylvania again. But point of the story here, I know I'm rambling a little bit, is this is straight up possibly going to be a nor'easter in the middle of summer. So just wanted to let you guys know that. And if you want the articles, I will leave them in the description box from 2017, exactly a year ago, plus 8 days, or minus 8 days rather. And then, believe it or not, this past June, this was a Boston article, a nor'easter in June. Yes, we're getting one, but it actually turned out that that did not happen. We did not get a nor'easter in June. It ended up breaking up. They did not name it a nor'easter or anything like that. And then they have some stats here for that Boston article as well. And then there's this article, Nor'easters, the winter weather monster. Now, I find this interesting because this was posted July 16th, 2018. Now, this was not a forecast at all. This was a research article put out by Andrew Rosenthal talking about nor'easters. He had this, none of this article talks about the possibility of there being a nor'easter this weekend. There could be a little bit of a coincidence that maybe he knew something was brewing that could have produced a nor'easter. But if you read this article, you can clearly see that all he's doing is talking about nor'easters. He doesn't say, oh, we're expecting a nor'easter this weekend. He's talking about why they occur in the winter and then why they rarely occur in the summer. Almost like he was preparing us for this situation, because 2 days later was the 18th, and then 2 days after that was the 20th. So we're talking 4 days ago, this guy puts out an article, July 16, 2018, talking about nor'easters, the winter weather monster. 4 days later, we are expecting a nor'easter in the middle of July. Alright, I think I've said nor'easter in the middle of July enough for tonight. Just wanted to point that out to you guys. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be all over this. And thanks for watching again, guys. Be prepared, Northeast. We're going to get hit hard. Take care. Bye-bye.